SeatGeek. For all your ticketed events, from sporting to concert outings, SeatGeek has you covered. They even conveniently color-coded each ticket on their website from amazing to worst, so you can easily know which are the best deals. SeatGeek, the smart way to buy. Save $20 off your next ticket purchase with the promo code. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Keep_TV. I'm your host, Grande, Gato, also known as TheBigKatt. My cool cats, get your paws in there if you're rocking with TheBigKatt. Today we're talking about Cam Newton. He admits to Peter King that playing on that bad shoulder last year wasn't a good idea. Let's talk about it. But first, one quick question. Do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers? Yes? No? Maybe? Do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love it? If you like it, give it that. We're going to talk about what exactly did Cam say about his tore up shoulder. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a moment. Now, Cam Newton had an interview with Peter King the other day, and he admitted playing on the shoulder injury wasn't the smartest thing to do. And I quote, "It wasn't the smartest or the efficient thing to do, yet if asked to do it again, I would," close quote. He also spoke about being a quarterback in this league. As a quarterback in this league, you're a unanimous leader. Also embracing change at an older age, like Kobe and Michael Jordan did later in their careers. How much fun it is to learn different techniques, different ways to reinvent yourself for the longevity of lasting in this league. Also, just a side note right here, Cam Newton had a 10% higher completion percentage rating before he got injured than last year, the year before. Kudos to North Turner and kudos to the checkdowns to Christian McCaffrey. Now, what's so fascinating about this is it kind of gives me an indication that maybe Cam Newton was the one keeping himself on the field. I've been a little bit hard in the past, and if you've seen my videos, you know how I feel about him being left in the oven too long last year. But now I got a little bit of a revelation to maybe he kept himself on the field. And I said this as a possibility before. He's a competitor. When you're a competitor, you don't check yourself out unless you're dead or you're broken up, okay? So him coming out and having a self-purging of sorts that it was wrong to continue to play is news to me. Because I kind of thought that Ron Rivera and the coaching staff pretty much said, you're okay, keep playing. Now, with that being said, it's still their job to say, listen, I'm the Senate and the Congress. I can veto your action. So I still hold them responsible for not vetoing him to come off that field. Okay? Even though he's a competitor, even though you want to play, it's still to your damnation. So him admitting that lets me know he probably was a little, strong-headed and said, I'm going to keep myself on this field. Now, he had no business being on that field. If you have not seen All or Nothing, Cam Newton was hurt at the end of the Philadelphia Eagles game. Going into that Baltimore game, the worst thing that could happen to Cam Newton was to win the Baltimore game. If you've seen the preparation leading up to the Baltimore game, he did not practice at all. He pretty much was doing just rehabbing on that shoulder. Anytime you can't practice, but you can rehab, that's not a good sign. Like I said, somebody with the veto power should have stepped in. We're going to shut you down for 2 or 3 weeks and see if it will come back and reassess the situation. But, I understand Cam Newton's the leader. You want to prove yourself. You want to make it seem like you're not a wimp. Like he said in his quote-unquote comments, it wasn't the smartest thing to do. All right? Him going out there to win that Baltimore game on pure sheer will, not only does this, I'm not questioning his toughness. It shows how tough he is. It shows how much of a leader he is. A lot of people, I forget which quarterback it was, that got hurt in a playoff game. He went on a bicycle, started eating a hot dog or some shit like that. Something like that. But he ended up sitting down on a bicycle in the middle of a playoff game. So I would never ever question his toughness. I would never ever question his desire to win. But yeah, like you said, it wasn't the smartest thing to do. That Baltimore game was probably the worst thing that could have happened to him. Because of that Baltimore game and being the number one defense, he was able to continue playing. And it's like having liquid courage in you. Everybody know. Have you ever been drunk before? You go to the club, you get a fifth or something, and next thing you know, you're Superman. You fight one guy, you think you can fight 20 guys, and then when you wake up in the hospital, you realize, damn, I shouldn't have done that. So yeah, I'm glad Cam Newton came out and admitted. Kind of shows me that more so it was on him that he stayed in these games instead of just pretty much taking the seat back. But it's kind of good to have a closure to it. I honestly, truly believe that Cam Newton finally gets it. At this age, you have to reinvent yourself. And I'm glad he referenced Kobe and Michael, because that's the only way they were able to last so long in their leagues. Now, with that being said, my only question mark is it too late? We all know when it comes to learning anything in this world, there's a learning curve. And at age 30, you're going to have to fast track it. You're going to have to fast track these new mechanics. And hopefully, here's my biggest fear, he doesn't revert back to what he knows. As we all do. You try something out, like me. I tried out an Android phone the other day, realized it wasn't good. I swim back to iPhone. So, with that analogy there, will Cam Newton get in here, trust the technique? Or will a tough game make him say, fuck it, I'm going for what I know? I don't know. But I'm glad he did come out. He finally closed the door on the chapter of last year, admitting that it was wrong. I think the TJ Watt hit wasn't the injury that caused it. I felt like that was just the icing on the cake. The Philadelphia game was the one that got this whole thing started off. And it was a spiral from down here. But who knows? 2019, I'm very optimistic. I feel like we'll pull through. And I'm rooting for Cam. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of KeepPounding_TV. Make sure you subscribe. Get in the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Cam Newton finally closed the door on that chapter? Do you honestly believe that learning new mechanics will help him have longevity for the remainder of his career? Or do you think that it's too late to learn new things and just stick to what you know? I'm your host, Grande Gato. Let's get up out here. Let the church say, that!